Oh, it's quite brambly here for the bare feet, but as long as you step pretty vertically down, generally okay. Looking for mushrooms. I found a beautiful cauliflower mushroom last week. Don't know what they are. There's another couple there. I wish the dog was trained for truffles, but he's just not. Okay, don't really want to be on the path. I was here 2 days ago and there was a mushroom forager who had quite some bounty of all different kinds. I've not been so lucky. Glorious day. Okay, let's have a look through here. Somebody's seen a squirrel. Is that? What is it, Jace? Okay, onwards. Let's go through here. Jace! Impeccable recall. Okay. The 2 worst times I've ever lost him have been here. Right, we've got some conifers, so be on the lookout for more cauliflower fungus, I think. You can hear the dog in the distance. Jace! There he is. Jace! Here, come here. Okay. The cauliflower fungus I found, I had a choice of either kind of scoffing it that day fresh or drying it, and I dried it and powdered it, and I'm just having it in coffee with some powdered lion's mane. It's got some pretty funky health claims to it. Immune system boosting, neuroprotective. This is the cauliflower fungus. I guess a lot of people know about lion's mane in that regard. So I've been sun gazing for 2 years now, and I'm doing it now, and doing it through the leaves. I just love it, and I do think it's good for me, and I do think it's good for my eyes. You have to be very careful not to burn your retinas out. But there's substantial evidence for it, the mechanism. This idea in some sense signals and energizes mitochondria and other biological, biochemical, bioelectric processes, and it just feels good. The first time I had the kind of retinal afterburn, I was a bit worried, and it took about 20 minutes to go. And now if I get it, which I try to avoid, it goes in seconds, it seems. No question you can really damage your eyes by looking at the sun, but there is a middle path. Same with getting sunburnt. That's a really stupid thing to do, I think, but equally keeping the sun away from your skin, especially morning and dusk, I think is a bit of a letdown to yourself. Essentially, you can either add to your life or take from your life by your actions and consumptions. And I think looking at the sun adds to your life. Looking at an iPhone 15 screen on full brightness at 11 o'clock at night takes from your life. I don't think there's much debate on that. It's a game we can play, this kind of the game of well-being. And it's one that as we get older, as old age starts rearing its head and creeping up, as that happens, you kind of realise something must be done. If you get to 40 and haven't had this realisation, that's probably not the best where you can be as a hunch. The dog is ominously quiet and there's a field there. Jason! No. Jason! Jason! Stinks of silage. Jason! Can you not get up? Oh. Okay. Jace, nice one. Yeah, that's not just water, number one. Oh, really? Okay. Can you come up now, Jace? Come on. Can you get up through there? Please don't tell me we've got to carry over barbed wire or anything. Okay. Right, onwards with a muddy dog and no foraging success. There's a nest up there of some description. Another thing I've been doing for my eyesight is these things called eye push-ups, where you get something, you close one eye. So for example, I'm going to do it here on the bark of this tree. So I've got it so it's just out of focus, and now I pull. It's hard to explain, but you'll get it if you try it, I think. Pull my focus in until it's in focus, and then do the other eye. It kind of aches, which I guess is a good thing. And then what you're meant to do is do the same, but you're pushing your focus out at an object in a distance. So, oh, there's a windmill. No, I cannot bring that in. Okay, but that's really far away and really slim. But it makes sense that if part of losing your eyesight as you get old is lack of muscle strength in your eye, then exercising that muscle should help. Right, where's Doggy? Is he gone again? So there's this atlas, this object coming called 3i Atlas, and it is about the size of Manhattan. It seems now, recently, they've got clearer photos of it from different agencies, and I think there's some amateur astronomers have photographed it too. And it is decidedly odd in the sense that it is not like anything else that we've seen before in terms of its properties, in terms of, I think, its trajectory. And it's going behind the sun soon. It's just flown past Mars. There's a video of it taken from the Mars Perseverance rover, kind of going across the Martian sky. It's quite something. And so it's kind of seen as almost jokey to entertain the idea of alien contact, alien invasion, all that kind of sci-fi stuff. But it's a genuine question. If this turns out to be an alien craft, what are you going to think about it? That is the question. What about if it's an alien craft that's going to be coming to Earth, let's say 2027? What do you think about that? What do we do then? I don't mean as governments. I imagine the governments will all go off to their secret Colorado mountain underground military bases with swimming pools and loads of guilt, and the rest of us will be left to fight the aliens. Maybe they're peaceful. I think the general kind of position of things in the universe is one of love and peace, the baseline. But when you add kind of egoic focuses of consciousness and resource competition and time finiteness and travel finiteness, etc., as in distance of travel, then maybe it makes sense to think that any civilization that can travel from one solar system to this one is probably going to be pretty leery, pretty mean, pretty warlike. Don't know. I don't really think that necessarily is the case. I've read the Dark Forest books, and in that there is this idea that the universe is like a dark forest where civilizations are hunters creeping through the forests, hunting and being hunted, and they know they mustn't kind of make a sound, mustn't give a signal, because that will alert the other hunters where they are. And the kind of game theory conclusion is to attack and destroy before you are yourselves attacked and destroyed. So if the universe is a dark forest scenario, yeah, that's not very good on a technological standing. Right. Wow. So as well as 3i Atlas, there's some other crazy anomalies going on. The world is getting weird. The world is getting weird. So what other crazy anomalies are there? There's the drones over Denmark that they're saying are another country's drones, but they don't know which country. Another state's drones, they don't know which one. And these things, they've been there for quite a while, flying around. They're kind of outmaneuvering fighter jets, and they're not being able to be blocked, etc. It is very weird. It's like, what could this be? Alien drones? Yes, it could. Then you've got the Buga, which was found in Bolivia, I think a place called Buga in Bolivia. And it is this metallic sphere with strange markings on. It does look like the kind of thing you might see in a kind of metal workers. It looks like it could be man-made and kind of poorly man-made, as in it doesn't look pristine. Jason! There he is. And it doesn't look pristine. It looks kind of battered, but it's got this, it seems to have fibre optics going through it, tiny fibre optics, and it's got this resin inlaid in it, which they've carbon dated to, I think, 12,000 years old, which is quite crazy. If it's a hoax, it's a not so elaborate one. You see it flying. Someone's videoing it. Two different people are videoing it from a different vantage point, and it hits a power cable, and that's when it's found in the garden. So there's that. Then there is this thing called venom this one's in Colombia. It does seem they're all in South America. Bearing in mind they could just be thinking this is a great way to make money with YouTube hits and things, by having an alien. So this guy found a meteorite in his garden, and it looks like it is a potato that's been sprayed silver. It really does. And it he kept it, and it kind of hatched into this black tendril-like thing that grew, that showed kind of intelligent motive behavior. It is very bizarre. It could be a special effect. It could be, you know, AI, all this stuff, or just some kind of goo with pneumatics, but that's a weird one. The Paracas skulls, these skulls that were found in, I think, the last century, and now they've been kind of more analysed, and they're just not human. They're just not part of any possible human lineage, and they've got things that we, as in primates, don't have, like the way, just in terms of kind of the superstructure of the head. It's just quite bonkers. Just quite bonkers. Then they found, I mean, this probably isn't to do with aliens. Then they found that in, I think, Algeria or Morocco, wooden structures, as in made by someone or something, that are like 1 million years old, with kind of undisputed carbon dating. Or that's just bonkers. That's just such a game changer to say, oh, hang on, we've been kind of civilized or proto-civilized for 1 million years, not the 5,000 years we've been told. And then what I think, so my three kind of favourite mysteries. The first one is crop circles, specifically Gerald Hawkins's crop circle theorems. I still find that fascinating, unanswered. It is just that, yeah, absolutely astounding. The second one is the cover of Shakespeare's sonnets from 1552, I think it is, or 1557. And it's got 13 things. 13, what are these things? They are mathematical constants, like I, E, this thing called Brune's constant, which wasn't found until I think 1912 or 1920. So it's astounding. It's how is it possible that this cover, printed 500 years ago, can have these things encoded in it? And to say that it's just random, I remember I did a simulation, and it just ran and ran and ran, and even just getting a couple of right-angle triangles from random points, it's not